Oh boy, I have been meaning to do a follow-up on this one. I'm so sorry it's taking me a little while here, but as you know, Kanye West, now known as Ye West, has exploded nuclear style the internet in about a 48-hour period. First with his Tim Pool walkout on Tim Pool's podcast, and now his interview on the Alex Jones show. Strange. Obviously, something is definitely going on here in Kanye's life. So basically, take you back a little bit. Tim Pool had Kanye West, Milo Yiannopoulos, and Nick Fuentes on his podcast a few days ago, and had them basically there to talk about the secret dinner that the three of them had with Donald Trump. About maybe 8 minutes into that podcast, Kanye West started to address his quotes and feelings about Jewish people. And I'm sorry, there's probably going to be some information here that I say that may be sensitive to some people, but I'm just giving context to the conversation. Gave his thoughts about Jewish people, and probably about 8 to 10 minutes later had ended up walking out on the Tim Pool podcast. If you haven't seen that walkout, I'm going to play that clip right now.
Yeah.
I think they've been extremely unfair to you.
Who was they though? We can't say who they is,
corporate
can we?
press. I'm not using the. I don't use the word as the way I guess you guys use. I'm talking.
It is
about
them though, isn't it? I mean, because
No.
because when you think about it, consider it. In 2018.
What do you mean it's not?
What do I mean? Like, okay, so how about? Are you leaving?
Are you referring to the press?
He's gone.
So Kanye leaves, Milo leaves, Nick leaves. They're found at a airport maybe a half an hour later on a private jet flying out. Tim Pool comes back the next day with a response and basically says that he feels that the whole situation may have been set up. If you didn't see Tim Pool's response, I'll play that clip right now for you guys.
There was a story that popped up on Fox 5. Kanye West spotted in Frederick after storming off of podcast. Here's the potential scenario, to be fair. The scenario is they abruptly left the show. They were on it. Ye didn't like that I was not agreeing with him or that I was pushing back in any capacity, got up and stormed off. Milo and Nick, working for Ye, wouldn't stick around and left. Immediately, they called a charter company to schedule a private plane who was they were very lucky that a hot crew, it's what they're on the ground ready to go, was available nearby and was able to then dispatch a plane to Frederick that they could then get into within a couple hours' notice. Entirely possible. My personal opinion, that sounds really, really crazy if that's the case. So when they stormed off the show, my first thought was that, okay, he stormed off the show. Then we talked about it, and I said it was the perfect thing to do if you wanted to generate press. There's a story going around that Donald Trump met with Nick Fuentes, an anti-Semite white supremacist. That was all last week. First thing this week, we have this show, and I think it was the first thing Nick said on the show was that something about isn't it really them? And then immediately Ye gets up and walks out downstairs, smile on his face, eating cookies. Apparently, one of our guys here said that when they were leaving, he said something like, "I came, did the show, got what I needed, now I'm done, I'm leaving." And so that made me wonder about what was the goal. It's possible, maybe I'm just thinking too much into it, that Milo wanted revenge on Trump. Milo was quoted as saying he invited Nick because he knew Trump would mishandle it in the press. He wanted to make Trump's life miserable. Trump is mishandling it in the press. The first thing out of, I believe it was the first thing out of Nick's mouth was, "But isn't it them?" And then Ye leaves right around the half an hour mark when we're at 100,000 concurrent viewers. And that said to me, they had to have planned this. Then I saw the video of them going to the Frederick airport, boarding what appears to be a super mid private jet right after the show, within a few hours. And I was like, how did they charter a private jet that fast? It is entirely possible they did. I know where the jet originated. We did some sleuthing to figure it out. What happened was about a half an hour's flight time away, a hot crew, this is what I'm told. It is entirely possible. These are by the experts in the private aviation. A hot crew was available. What they said was a plane nearby flew to Frederick, landed for about an hour, and then departed with them. It is entirely possible that they happened upon what's called a hot crew. That's what they said, meaning there were people on the ground working, ready to take off, but for no reason. The plane was not being used. Ye is a very powerful, wealthy individual. Perhaps he knows somebody and someone has his back. It's interesting considering everything he's been saying about how they're trying to arrest him and shut him down and silence him and censor him. But apparently he was able to get, within 2 hours notice, a super mid private jet to fly from here to Los Angeles with a crew active. I don't know what happened, but to me it sounds staged.
So now, 24 hours later, Ye West shows up on Alex Jones' show in a very strange Balenciaga mask, if you haven't seen that, and basically gives his feelings on how he's feeling at the moment with everything going on. And he basically, in this clip, is going to reveal who screwed him over in his business. Again, I'm not sure if this video is going to be taken down or demonetized, but I'm going to play this clip here, and hopefully we can get through it so you guys can see if you haven't seen that yet.
I have a few good ideas. I have ideas that surpass the idea of just being a black face for the Trump administration, just being Elon's cool friend at a concert. I actually have real ideas, Tim Cook. I actually have real ideas. And I get marginalized into these places. And I understand people are afraid of the truth. The best EQ on the planet. When I went to people like David Simon and Jamie Salter and all these Jewish businessmen, they would offer me things like, hey, we'll give you one store. And I got frustrated. I got frustrated with the Gap, with Adidas, of being held back. And people act like they're going to help you, but they really control you, like how Jamie Salter controls Shaquille O'Neal, or the NBA controls Shaquille O'Neal. And this is nothing, no knock to our brother. All black people feel the way I feel, but nobody wants to go broke. No one else can take a $2 billion hit and still have $400 million, you know? So that's God putting me in a position to be able to fight battles that other people can't fight. But the people, the real people, they're standing up, they're talking. The problem—
How can anybody disagree with this? It's awesome.
KanYe goes on in this interview to talk about how pornography affects people. He goes on to talk about this song about killing the Clintons, how they're going to come and kill him. It's just really strange. And obviously, we know now that clearly he's not in a good mental place. I want to go back to a part that he talked about on the Tim Pool podcast about growing up rich and famous at such an early age, and how when you're in the type of entertainment business, you just get passed between handler and handler. So you're not really ever experiencing probably the real world, and being, you know, locked down for so long in kind of that cycle, something mentally breaks. Obviously, we know in KanYe's past, he's had a little bit of issues with mental health. If I was KanYe, what I would do at this point is basically I would disappear, maybe get some help. He's hurting, obviously. He's lashing out in ways that are not productive. I think a lot of this things that he said about Jews, and especially on the Alex Jones show here, there was a quote that he got caught on camera saying, "I love Hitler." Alex Jones gave him an opportunity to come back and try to walk that comment back, but he didn't. He kept playing on. So I think, you know, coming in, doing these type of shows, he's being handled by the wrong people right now. What I mean by that is he's surrounded by the wrong people. I think that he needs to just really clear his headspace, get his head on tight. I'm not sure if any of this is going to be he's going to be able to bounce back from. Usually comments like that he's been making over the last couple of weeks and months are going to stick with you, but maybe he just disappears. Like I said, gets his head straight, comes back and apologizes, because, you know, America, we love the second chance story. You know, maybe he comes back and apologizes, but clearly not a good headspace right now. He also, on Tim Pool's podcast before he walked out, revealed that he possibly could owe around $50 million in taxes. So a lot of crazy things going on in Ye's life. Again, I think take a break, step back, get in a clear headspace, get some help, and maybe over time that his PR can get cleaned up here. So I will leave you with that thought. What do you guys think? Do you think that KanYe is completely over? Do you think his career is over? Could he bounce back? Should he just take a break and disappear, get his personal life in line, and maybe try to make a comeback someday. Leave your comments below. I really would appreciate it, and hear what your thoughts are. If this is the first time over on the channel, please make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification, because that helps. Every time I drop a new video, you guys will be informed. Hit that thumbs up button because it helps me in the algorithm. And always, 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 like I said, comment below. That's going to be it for now, guys. Make sure to keep it live and keep it loud. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.